Everybody, I'm hoping that you're all doing great. This is Sudhanshu from Postcard Prep, and today we have another member from Postcard Prep, Varun, who's also a mentee. And yeah, Varun, how would you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, sir. So, hi everyone. I have been a part of Postcat Prep for last 3 months now, and Sudhanshu sir has been a mentor for me for a long time. And today we are going to look after the SPJIMR form filling process, particularly the Form B part of it. Yeah, sir.
So the form B, guys, is a very, very important part. Do fill in this form very, very diligently and carefully because your interview is going to be based upon form B primarily. Form A also is there, but form A and form B are both important. Form B is more important from the interview standpoint. Okay. As the process looks like, you will have a small essay, you will have a GI1 and a GI2. A GI1, which is a group interview, is an eliminator kind of a setup wherein there are more of functional questions, and gi2 is more of an hr round wherein some hr related hr q&a, the kind of questions that we have done in our hr q&a assignment that you've all submitted and you've reviewed also from the postcard prep mentors. So those are the kind of questions that you will find the gi2, and gi1 is something that we will take care of through the domain session. So for example, we are doing sessions with Ayush from IIM who is taking finance session. There are marketing sessions that we are doing, right? There are analytics sessions that are going to happen. There are sessions on information management that are going to happen. Sessions on operation is going to happen on the coming Monday. So all these key sessions are going to happen to help you brush up in terms of the functional elements, which will be important from a GI1 standpoint. And the VAT that we are doing is the same thing that is going to help us with the essay part also. So these are the three key elements that are there. Let us quickly look at how do we go about filling the form B. Yeah, let's move ahead, Varun.
Yeah, so sir, first part is going to be fairly simple. It is about family details, wherein you have to put your father's name, qualification, occupation, contact details. And the second part is optional. You can put in your mother's name, qualification details. And if you wish, you can leave it blank also. Then there is the annual family income part. So basically, you have to select, there are several ranges provided to us. So you have to select the appropriate range based on your income tax return. And this income is excluding your income. So you have to only include the family income and not your personal income in this. And then they're asking for a little bit of family background. So if you
Varun, I think you are not audible.
is it audible now?
Yes, yes, pretty much. So yeah, so I think there is a little bit of family background. My suggestion is, although it is optional, looks like optional, but you should fill it because there might be some discussion in your family, and that is always good to have. Okay, if you have a discussion in your family, people asking about your family, you can have a good conversation on it. So it's a good conversation builder. So make sure that you write it. Don't think that it is optional. So might as well leave it. So yeah, so that is my input on that. Okay, let's move ahead to the next bit, Varun.
Yeah, so this is the second part of the form, which requires your personal summary.
Yeah,
So this is a little different from the forms we have seen in the past. Uh, if we
yeah,
compare it to the IIM forms.
yes,
So it talks about 10 random things or statement which you can mention in the form. And particularly your questions in the interviews can be based around these. So we have to be very diligent while selecting the answers.
absolutely. So very quickly, my pointer on this is, see, we have all watched the HR Q&A and we've all drafted our answers. Okay. Now the sentences that you write, okay, they might seem random, but they're actually not random sentences. Okay, if you write something about yourself, okay, and let's say you contradict yourself in any other statement or any other answer, that becomes a problem. So when you are filling these answers, make sure that there are no contradictions or red flags, right? So for example, let's say in one of the answers I have mentioned that I'm adaptive. or adaptability is one of my key strengths. And then in one of the answers I mention otherwise, or I have a statement which mentions otherwise, then it is going to be a trap. Beware of these traps. These are not random things or statements. We have to think through and we have to fill properly. So do that. Whenever you are filling in these answers, make sure that the answers are coherent and you are not contradicting yourself in one or the other answer. Okay, so you can
Right.
write anything. For example, in another life, I was an RJ. Okay, so for example, I had written that I am too much into music. Correct. Then I had written a little bit about robotics. I had mentioned back in time that I'm absolutely in love with robotics. So something which is there in your answers also, in HR answers also. You have supporting arguments. Effectively, remember, a form is your story. Okay, all the answers combined should be able to tell a good story, right? That is
Right.
the objective of a form. Your answer should not look too detached. Okay, when I read an answer, I should get a very good picture of that person. Okay, and that is the objective of this form. Okay, so when you are filling this, make sure that you are not bragging. uh, let's make sure that you're not lying. Okay, if for example, let's say uh, I love reading. If I don't love reading, don't write it. Okay, you write only if you like doing it. So be honest. Okay, we have to put in whatever we put in. We have to put in honestly, and we have to articulate well. So that is again very very important. Okay, so yeah. So first question is pretty much an honest expression, but at the same time, make sure that there are no contradictions. Okay.
Right.
State one experience in your formative years that you remember up to 18 years of age and it impacted you as a person. Varun, how do you look at this?
Right, sir. So, I think we can look like recall any of our past experiences where we had to show some quality, be it leadership quality, or we got an important learning from it. It can be an ethical dilemma also, which we have practiced in our HR rounds. So we can come up with any actual personal scenario that happened to us in our younger years, and we can put in our learnings also. Like in the interview, they can maybe ask us, what did that scenario teach us? So
Absolutely.
we can relate it from a learning point of view.
Absolutely. So the structure to follow in this. So for example, in our HR Q&A at Postcat, what we have done is we have answered a number of questions like this. For example, biggest achievement and some of the anecdotal questions also. So we've answered some of the key anecdotal questions as well, right? So what we
Right,
should do is we should pick up effectively. This one is that maybe whatever you believe is the turning point in your life, right? So what was the event? And again, you can use the star approach we have discussed, right? So the star approach that we have discussed, you can use the same star approach here and build the answer. So we've discussed HR Q&A. If you've not watched the HR Q&A, watch the HR Q&A conducted by IIM Ahmedabad mentor Soptik and go through that and then answer this question. You will absolutely find the right structure here. Okay.
right,
Um, Recall a significant incident in your life that left a mark and required you to deal with it innovatively or with a mindset change. So there is a question on innovation also, right? Wherein you took an innovative approach to solve a problem. This is also there in the HR Q&A. So
right,
if you've drafted your HR Q&A properly, all these answers are absolutely a walk in the park. Okay. So all the people who have that same question is there, similar question is there in our HR Q&A, you can just put it here. Okay. Again, here also we can, whenever we have an incidental question or an anecdotal question, we can use the star approach discussed in the class and make sure that you get it reviewed also. So once you complete it, send it us for a review and we will review all your forms so that we are absolutely sure, because this is very very important from an interview standpoint, right?
right.
What role do you usually play in a team? Leader, collaborator, or supporter? Can you provide an example that highlights your approach? Okay, Varun, it's a very interesting question. What's your take on this?
So this is the question that I find the most difficult so far, because it we have to support our argument using an example, and you might think that there might be consequences depending on which role you select, be it leader, collaborator, or supporter. But I think we can just be honest with our answer and select any of the three approaches, as long as we provide a story that backs it up properly.
Absolutely. And so my take is that, see, people will have a bias to say that I am a leader,
Right,
right? Because if I portray myself as a leader, my chances improve, etc., etc. In my
right,
opinion, an individual contributor can also be a leader, a collaborator can be a leader, a supporter can be a leader, and somebody who leads the team is also a leader. Correct? So anybody in the team is expected to play all the roles, right? So my suggestion is that you should say that I am a leader and a collaborator and a supporter, right? So effectively, if you've been a leader, if you've led teams, you can mention one anecdote or one simple example that I've led a team of, let's say, 10 people. I was the head of sponsorship team in my college club, wherein I raised funds. I garnered funds of, let's say, 10 lakh rupees for a fest. Correct?
right,
That is one. Again, collaborator, because we used to follow the sponsorship leads that we had. We used to collaborate. We used to collect the leads together. We used to work on it together, and we used to help nurture the leads together. So, for example, sometimes somebody will go to a sponsor, and we will try and refine the leads that in basis the information that we have. So, although even if I'm leading a team, I am effectively collaborating also. Or I can give another example wherein I was a collaborator. For example, let's say, I was a team of 5 people, and we were collaborating with each other to, let's say, fund education, or let's say help education of poor and underprivileged kids. Right. So there we were a team of 5, and we were all equals, and we were collaborating, right? In a team, you can also mention that, at my workplace I am a good supporter, right? Because I have a team lead, and we get the project and the directions, and I support my team. For example, let's say तुम IT में हो, ठीक है? And let's say the company is Hindustan Unilever. So then you are supporting the teams, right? You are supporting the sales team, you are supporting the marketing team with the kind of IT understanding and skills that you have, right? So one person can be leader also, in a different example, collaborator, supporter, right? And I'm sure that we've all been leader, collaborator, supporter. Don't get into a bias of saying that I'm a leader only. Okay, nobody is only into leading teams, and especially in the early part of our careers, we are more of collaborators and supporters, right? So do
right.
that accordingly. What else is there, Varun? Let's scroll down.
Yeah, so this is the third and final part of the form, which is the uploading part. And here we are required to upload different identity related documents, namely our Aadhaar card and our passport copy. Apart from that, we are also required to upload some education documents like our 10th mark sheet, our 12th mark sheet. And if there are people who have pursued any other qualification post graduation, they are required to upload the relevant documents for that. Also, people having WorkX, they are required to come up with their joining letter, their pay slip, and work experience certificate. If you are mentioning any achievements, then you have to provide relevant proof for that as well.
Yeah, so I think just a couple of elements, Varun. So, achievement proof, whatever achievement you are mentioning, okay. So it's saying certificates or reasonable proof.
Right,
Reasonable proof can be anything which comes on the institution's letterhead, or anything which comes from the institute's mail ID. Okay, so
right,
all that is reasonable proof. Okay, so what you can do is, you can compile in a form of PDF, merge the PDFs, and attach it here. Similarly, in work experience, you have to put your offer letter, your last pay slip, and your work experience letter or service certificate. A work experience letter can be, let's say, a bona fide letter from the organization saying that this person has worked in our company from this time to this time and has his conduct has been very very good, etc., etc., in whatever department he was working, right? So that can serve as the service certificate, right? If you left the job,
Right.
you would have your relieving letter. So if you have your relieving letter, that also effectively mentions the duration of your the tenure of your job, so that you can attach here, right? So that part is absolutely clear. Okay. Moving forward, 10th mark sheet, 12th mark sheet is pretty straightforward. Have you updated marks or CGPA in the academic section? So you have to put it there. What's there in the select tab, Varun?
Uh, I will have to check, sir. 1 second. Yeah. So it's an option between CGPA and marks.
Okay, 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 perfect. So you can put it then accordingly, and
Right.
so you have to put in your graduation certificate and semester-wise, year-wise mark sheet. So that has to be compiled and uploaded. Upload
Right. So,
professional.
sir, one question. For semester-wise mark sheet, do we compile it all in one PDF?
Yes, yes. So all the mark sheets in one PDF, and we have to upload it here. And next
Okay.
is professional qualification or post graduation. So if you have your post graduation certificate in terms of your degree, that you can upload here, or a provisional can be uploaded. Okay, a provisional or a degree, both of them are fine. Okay, so I think this is then done, Varun. I don't think there is anything
Yeah.
left. So
Yes, sir.
guys, all the best. Do fill in the forms properly. Share it with us for review. We will review it absolutely diligently. And also, we are going to now get into the rhythm of GIs also with our mentor from SPJAN, Vinay, who's an alum. I also had been fortunate to clear SPJAN interviews, GI1, GI2, and receive an offer letter. And beyond that, we'll also have a few more people. Shubham, who's also from SPJAN, who will be joining us in the GIs. There'll be Ayush also joining us in the GIs. So we'll have a lot of fun in the GIs. Make sure that you fill the form, and let's kickstart and convert our calls. Thank you, Varun. That was very, very a lot of help, and God bless.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, everyone.
Take care. Bye bye.
Bye. Bye.